Hello, Joe. This is Jeff, the garage guy. Thanks for having Shannon and I out at your house last week. Um, I appreciate your patience waiting for this design. I worked pretty hard on it. Hopefully, it was worth the wait. Right here, what we have is the top view of your garage. I'll go through each one of these things in a little more detail in a minute. But essentially, what we have here is a set of cabinets up in the air so you can park your car underneath, without these getting in the way of parking and depth. Over here, I did a large set of cabinets for storing some of the larger items, and then I did a floating workbench and a couple upper cabinets here. And of course, we have this really nice raised deck floor and a pinstripe or store wall going around the entire garage. Let's look at some other sections in more detail. Alright, this here is the front view of your garage up at the top of the screen here. Basically, what I did was I tried to come up with a really neat way to give you a large set of cabinets across the back wall and give you a really neat design at the same time. Function is always important too, so I also made sure that function was the #1 priority here. So basically, these two center cabinets, these are really large cabinets. These are 5 foot 4 inches tall, or 64 inches tall, 23 inches deep. So they're extremely large cabinets. Most garages would have a large cabinet like that sitting on the floor. I mean, it's that big. It's just a big cabinet. But what I did is I centered 2 of these cabinets in the very center of this back wall. And that'll give you storage for very large items that you can lift up and stick in there. Maybe some bins and things like that, coolers. And the neat thing that I did here is I stepped down the depth and the height at the same time as we went across. So the cabinets to the center, just outside the center cabinets here, these ones are 19 inches deep. And they're about 60 inches tall. So when we move our way down, we got 16 inches deep and 56 inches tall. And the very end ones, on the far left and far right, these ones are 12 inches deep, which is the depth of a normal upper cabinet. And they are 52 inches tall. So even these smaller ones on the left and the right, they're still actually giant cabinets. At 52 inches tall, that's over 4 feet tall, so it's a lot of storage back there. I wanted to save room for you to be able to put your fridge here, so I left, the left and the right side of the right side of the cabinet or the back wall open. So you may have a refrigerator here one day, you may not have a refrigerator here. Either way, it'll be a really nice looking design. You can see the pinstripe of store wall pretty well on this view going around the entire garage. And then on this wall here, we have our floating workbench, so you have room to park some of your items underneath that bench. A larger area of store wall to hang some maybe hand tools and things like that. And I put in some extra tall cabinets here too. These cabinets are each 36 inches wide, and they're 48 inches tall, so they're very large cabinets as well. One thing you might notice is these stripes down the middle of the cabinets. These are the extruded handles, the aluminum handles that go top to the bottom of the door. You can consider that a bell or a whistle. It's really nice looking. I think it brings a lot to the cabinet design, but functionally it's just pretty. And then if you look at the opposite wall of where this bench is, this is where I stuck some more large cabinets here. These ones are 30 inches wide on the left and right. They're 23 inches deep. They're 90 inches tall. So by the time we stick them 6 inches off the ground, they're about 8 foot tall. In the center, I did the drawers with the built-in dividers. If you don't remember what I'm talking about, just let me know and I'll send you a picture of the built-in dividers. And then over that set of drawers is just a cabinet, 23 inches deep as well. That goes the rest of the height up to the top of the system here. Another thing I want to show you here is I put top caps and bottom caps on each one of these cabinets. This is another Bellera whistle here. I think it'll look awesome. I think it's really gonna, make the look of these cabinets coming out at you even stronger. I think the cabinets will look good without them too. If it becomes a price issue, that's one of the things we can look at knocking off of here. So I think it's a really neat design. As soon as we left your house, like I said, we went to Menards and we checked out that gray beadboard you were talking about. I'm more than happy to put it in the design for you, but I'll be honest, I don't necessarily agree with using that material on the entire wall. The main reason is because the materials are 8 feet tall and your ceiling is quite a bit taller than 8 feet, so there'd be some kind of weird seam or piece of trim that would have to go here. I borrowed this wall color here from another plan that I worked on before, so it's not exactly what I want to do, but it's very similar. So let's look at this. I'd like to do that beadboard down at the bottom portion of the wall where you see this darker gray. We can do that beadboard all the way around the garage, and then above that we can do like a chair rail piece of trim. In this picture it's showing gray walls up here. That's because I borrowed it. If I was to custom make this wall for your garage here, I think I'd just leave that white because of the texture that you just had done. If the wall texture turned out well and you're happy with the way it looks, I think we can just leave the upper portion of the wall white. I think it'll look pretty sharp. There's a few details in here I haven't gotten to yet. I like the step. I think we need to replace that step. It's kind of be an eyesore in a nice looking garage like this. And we got some stem walls around here, the concrete stem walls that stick out. I would just paint those. Basically is usually what I do when I do a raised deck floors. I paint those a nice color and it looks pretty good. We just paint those all the way around the garage. We can either make them match the wall completely or make them stand out a little bit. I think in your case, since the stem wall only goes halfway across this wall, we just want those to blend in with the wall. So I would just paint them the same color as the beadboard if we put beadboard down here, or the regular wall if it's a regular wall. So a couple of things to think about. Well, number one, do you like the look of the design cabinet system? And number two, do you like my idea of doing the beadboard around the bottom portion of the walls, or do you disagree with me and you want to do the full height of the wall? There's a way I can make that work. I mean, I'm not thrilled about the piece of trim. I think it might look a little odd, but I could probably come up with a way to make that look pretty neat if you feel really strongly about it. But yeah, that's what I have. By the way, here's your vacuum. I would relocate that slightly to make sure that the doors can open and not hit the vacuum, and the vacuum would just be sitting here. Sorry about that, but yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. Cabinet system, flooring, wall ideas. If you like the whole thing, just let me know. I'll start pricing this thing out, and I'll look forward to hearing back. Thanks. Talk to you soon.